Good everyone, you're watching Radio Fixes. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to fix if your laptop battery is draining very fast in your Windows machine. Windows battery drain can often be fixed by identifying root cause and tweaking the settings. For the better results, watch this video till the end and apply all the steps to fix the problem. Now the first step to resolve this issue is to go ahead and check the battery draining apps on your computer. To do this, you will have to do a right click on the start button and then click on settings. Once you're on the settings, you will have to go ahead and click on system, and then on the right hand side you will have to scroll to the power and battery. Click on it, scroll down and then click on battery usage. Identify apps draining most battery. In case if you're not using any of these applications from this list, please go ahead and uninstall those applications, because those are the applications which are draining most of your batteries on your laptop. Once you have uninstalled those applications, you may close this window and follow the second step. Now the second step is to go ahead and enable battery saver. To do this, you will have to do a right click on the start button and then click on settings. Once you're on these settings, you will have to go ahead and click on system and then look for power and battery. Under power and battery, you will have to look for power mode. Under power mode, change to best power efficiency. Scroll down and look for energy saver. In this list, make sure turn energy saver on automatically when the battery level is at 20%, and at the same time always use energy saver needs to be turned on. Once this is done, you may close this window and follow the third step. Now the third step is to go ahead and reduce screen brightness. To do this, you will have to do a right click on the start button and then click on settings. Once you're on these settings, you may go ahead and click on system, and then on the right hand side you may click on display. In this, you may go ahead and lower the brightness to your comfortable level so that the brightness does not keep draining the battery in your laptop. Once the brightness level has been set, you may also go ahead and check for the HDR option. Turn off the HDR in case if it is turned on. So you can use these options to turn off the HDR. Close this window and follow the next step. Now the next step is to go ahead and disable startups on your computer. To do this, you will have to open the task manager. You can either press Ctrl Shift Escape, or you can do a right click on the settings and then click on task manager. Once you're on the task manager, you may click on startup app. Now here you may go ahead and disable unnecessary apps so that they don't start in the startup. Now in case if they are already disabled, you can go ahead and check for the status. So you need not go ahead and enable them back. Look for the apps which are already enabled and which are taking a lot of your startup processes. You can do a right click and then click on disable. So identify those apps and go ahead and disable the startup apps to stop draining your laptop battery. Once this is done, you may close this window. The next step, what you could do is you can turn off the power hungry features on your computer. So some of the power hungry features are Bluetooth, location and Wi-Fi when not in use. So you can turn off these features when you're not using these on your computer. To do this, to turn off the Bluetooth, you can do a right click on the start button and then click on settings. Once you're on these settings, you may click on Bluetooth and devices, and you can use this toggle button to turn off the Bluetooth. Turn off the location. Under the same settings window, you may go ahead and look for privacy and security. Under privacy and security, you may look for location. Toggle this button to turn off the location service. Once this is done, you may close this window, and you can also go ahead and turn off the keyboard backlight manually. That needs to be turned off manually on your keyboard. So that is something which also drains your laptop battery. Once this is done, the next step what you could try is you can update battery and graphic drivers. To do this, you will have to do a right click on the start button and then click on device manager. Once you're on the device manager, you will have to go ahead and expand batteries. Once you expand the batteries, you will have to do a right click on the Microsoft AC adapter and then click on update driver. Choose the option which says automatically update the driver and then click on close, and repeat the same step for ACPI compliant control. You can do a right click and then click on update driver, search automatically for the drivers and then click on close. Close this window, restart your computer and then follow the next step. Now the next step, what you could try to get this issue resolved is by updating your Windows. To do this, you will have to do a right click on the start button and then click on settings. Once you're on the settings, you will have to click on Windows Update, and then on the right hand side you may go ahead and click on check for the updates. See if there are any updates to be installed on your computer. In case if there are any updates to be installed on the computer, download those updates, install them. Once the updates are installed, you may close this window, restart your computer, and check the performance of the battery. Now all this steps should definitely fix the problem. In spite of trying all this step, if you're still facing a problem, the last step what you could do is you may go ahead and check the battery health. To do this, you will have to open the command prompt. So you can go to the search window and type command. You will see the best match for the command prompt. Do a right click and then click on run as administrator. In case if you get a user access control prompt, you may click on yes or continue on the screen. Once you are on the command prompt, you can go ahead and type the command, or you can copy the command from my video description and paste it here by doing a right click. The command is power cfg space / battery report. Once you have this command, you can go ahead and hit enter. This will go ahead and generate a report for the battery. To view the report, all you have to do is you can copy this path. Once you have copied this path, you can open any browser, paste this path in the address bar and hit enter. This will give you a preview of the battery report. So you can check the cycle count and the battery capacity analytics. You can compare the design and the full charge, and also if your cycle count is high, which means that there is a high wear on the battery. And you can also check the history graph for the drain patterns. If the capacity is less than 80%, you might want to consider the replacement of the battery. The normal cycles are about 300 to 500 depending on the model. So in case if these count cycles are very high, more than 500, it is an indication that your battery is wearing out. So you might want to consider replacing the battery. So all this steps should definitely fix the problem. In spite of trying all this step, if you're still facing a problem, I would suggest you to leave me a comment in the comment section so that I can come up with a possible solution. I hope this video was useful. In case if you like this video, please make sure to hit the like button and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Have a great day.